Okay, so today, or as of today, I will have driven this car about 3,000 miles under my ownership, or technically two, because another soldier drove it 1,000 miles from Texas to Utah. So 2,000 miles on my part, but 3,000 miles in total under my ownership. And well, I bought this car 131,000 miles. Right now, it's at 133,937, and well, 3,000 miles means oil change in a rotary, and yeah, so we're going to do that. And I've been running 10W40 for the last 3,000 miles. And what I'm going to do is take a sample, put it in this little sealable jar thing. The reason I'm doing that is, one, because I don't have the test kit. I forget the company that does it. Probably say annotation that says what the company name is right here. But yeah, I need to order a test kit from them, and then when that gets here, I'll just take that sample oil, put it in, send it back, and what they're going to do is analyze the oil, tell me just everything there is to know about the oil, or that I should know anyway. And what that'll tell me is how well the oil is doing with protecting the bearings from excessive wear. Now, there will be some degree of metal shavings from the bearings in the oil, so it's nothing to really be alarmed about because every engine wears. But this will just tell me how much it's wearing, and just give me an idea where it's at, and how good Castrol GTX is really doing for this engine. I will also be using 10W40 throughout the winter because it's getting colder. There's no need to go to 20W50. I know a lot of people have debates about oil, but the winter, in both my rotaries, I use 10W40, and then in the summer I use 20W50. It goes for Renesis or any other rotary. It doesn't matter. But enough blabbing. Let's get over to the DIY auto shop and let's change this oil. Okay, so I guess this is the only parking spot. That's why you saw me go in somewhere and then have to back out. And yeah, but anyway, here, so let's go and see if there is a bay open that I can use, because I had to wait about an hour for it to open up, or at least they told me. But yeah, let's get inside. Okay, so the lift that they have here for oil changes only is a little bit different than the ones down in El Paso. Down in El Paso, all the lifts were exactly the same, but here they have these kind of lifts. Full-size truck lift. Oh yes, I put some things on the parking. But let's just go ahead and get this thing up and start draining the oil. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to check for any obvious signs of leaks or anything like that. But first I wanted to show this. So this is some other damage that came from the crash. This is a big old scratch going down the belly pan. But yeah, good thing it was only the belly pan and not the oil pan itself, because these things are fucking expensive and they take forever to get here from Mazda. Well, let's turn the light on. Okay. So maybe a little bit around the drain plug area, but that's not too bad. I don't see anything around the gasket area itself. That's good. Alright, so no obvious signs of leaks. One thing I did notice earlier though is a drip coolant leak coming from somewhere right above here. You can see some drip marks and stuff on that. Looks like it's right up in there. Well, I'll just have to figure that out. But for now, the car's holding together. It's not stopping the car from being able to be driven. I just have to put my my other radiator and some other hoses on. Oh yes, here is my LRB under tray with the cutouts for the condenser where I'm going to flat mount it. I do not have a screen there. I need to have a screen there, but I don't know. I think this is doing its job. It's okay. But anyway, let's get a drain pan under here and start draining the oil. Okay, so oil is draining, and well, I got my sample. That's way more than I actually need, but whatever. Also, I did not notice any metal shavings on the drain plug. I actually don't know if this is magnetic or not. I don't think so. But I didn't really notice anything coming out. And that oil actually looks fairly clean for 3,000 miles. Not too bad. But I'm just gonna let it drain for a while, and yeah, once it stops dripping and stuff, then I'll plug it back up and fill the oil back up. Oh yeah, also gotta remove that guy's teeth. Don't want to forget that. Okay, so me and my oil filter got in kind of a fight, and put up a good fight, but in the end it lost. But yeah, I had absolutely no tools at all to get this off. So what I ended up having to do was take these channel locks, which are far too small for this, and then well, I just had to manhandle it out, but I got it out. But anyway, time to put the brand new filter in, and well, wipe all this residual oil up and fill her back up. Good, new filter's on, and yeah, I really don't like the new placement of the Series 2 oil filters. This is the only rotary engine to have oil filter in this location. All the other ones are in the top driver's side or left side of the rear iron. But on the Series 2s, it's right here. There's a lot of residual oil. I'm just gonna clean this up, and then we're gonna get to filling this up, and should be able to get out of here. Okay, as I said before, I'm going to be using Castrol GTX 10W40. So on USDM and I think Canadian RX-8s, oil cap will say 5W20. This is a big no-no. You never ever use this dog shit in any rotary engine motor. It does not protect the bearings, and just causes excessive wear. This is only for emissions and something about fuel economy. But I mean, average about normal fuel economy for an RX-8 with 10W40, so that's complete bullshit. And emissions, plenty of people run 10W30 or more, and pass emissions with flying colors. So yeah, this is complete bullshit. Don't fuck up your engines. Never use 5W20. Probably sand that off anyway. Yeah, let's go ahead and fill this bitch up. Okay, so it shows that it's full on the dipstick, so what I'm going to do now is just start the car and then get oil going through the system a bit, and well, then I'll shut the car off after like 30 seconds or something like that. The car's fully warmed up, so that's not an issue, but yeah, just get oil running through the system, then we'll recheck the oil level. Okay, so it was actually slightly cold, so I just let it heat up all the way to operating temp and shut it off. Yeah, let's go check the level now. Okay. That boy off. Alright, so we're about, that's where it needs to be. That's about where it is, so we're going to go ahead and fill it up a bit more. Alright, so we're still slightly low, so just a little bit more, and it should be good to go. Alright, right on the dot. That's where we want it. Oh, and another thing about these that really sucks is they have a redesigned thread pitch, so it's some weird shit. This is all the, I think, 2009 and up Mazdas. Before that, it was all just the normal thread pitch. But yeah, this is what makes a rotor oil cap, instead of being 30 bucks, it's like 80, 90 bucks. And I think only our Magic sells them. You can see the picture of that here, but I'll eventually get one of those because I really don't like this oil cap. But till then. Okay, so let's get cleaned up and get out of here. Okay, so I know some of you might find this video boring or whatever because it is just a fucking oil change on a car. Nothing other than normal for any car, period. But it's kind of significant for me because, well, I got an RX-8 to its first oil change interval, and changed oil, added oil change interval. Which on my, I'm not gonna wait in that fucking line. Fuck that. Go here, and then I'm gonna reverse there, and then I'm gonna stop, and then I'm gonna wait my happy ass right there. Now I'm picking up my daughter from school. There we go. Okay, so yeah, my first RX-8, the S2 swapped one that I never finished, and well, I'm not gonna finish. Bought that car 4 years ago, drove it around for a month, and put about 1,500 miles on it. And I didn't know shit about roadies at that time, but lasted 1,500 miles, and the engine shit itself. I'd like to think that it wasn't my fault because, well, it was a pretty fucked up car. It was rice to shit, and there was a lot of big no-nos all over that car. Red flags everywhere. I should have seen it a mile away, but I really wanted an RX-8, so I bought an RX-8, and, well, had RX-8 problems because of previous owners. But this car's running great, aside from slipping clutch, which hopefully will get changed soon. Depends on how lazy I am over the next week or two. And let's see, 19,000 mile trans, 19,000 mile diff. This car should run and drive like a brand new car, besides the engine, however much wear that has. And tomorrow I may be getting this on the dyno, and we'll see what 134,000 mile harness puts down to the wheels. If this is original mileage, I don't really know. But either way, car runs great. I'm happy, and I'm gonna quit blabbing now. All right, see ya.